Hey, what is going on, everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech, and in this video I want to go over how to fine-tune your ASIC miner with LuxOS. There's all kinds of great things in this GUI or graphic user interface that will help you out in the fine-tuning process, but it is something that each and every one of you, or farms or at-home miners, will have to fine-tune based on your environment, your thermals, and obviously silicon lottery. On this dashboard, which gives us a lot of good information, we can see we got on board 1, 6 unhealthy chips, on board 2, 5 unhealthy chips, and on board 3, or 2, in this case 0, 1, and 2, 3 unhealthy chips. And that is because I have the voltage a little bit too low. But how do we tune this particular guy? Well, in the top left here, we got preset profiles. Now, you can see I have a custom profile set up. You can see each one marked by custom on the left-hand side. Please note that you cannot delete a profile if it's already set for the miner. Additionally, you cannot change these profiles if you went to the advanced section, right, and turned on the advanced thermal management. If you turn this on, you can't just choose profiles. But with this on, you can set your minimum profile and your maximum profile. And it will, depending on the thermals, go ahead and choose the profile that's optimal for that thermal condition or situation. So if it's cold outside, it would choose the max profile or get as close as it possibly can. And if it's, cool outside, it will choose the minimum profile. But you can see here, we got a lot of unhealthy chips, a lot of unhappy chips. So what is going on? Well, that's because this profile probably has the voltage a little bit too low. So we can change that profile, and obviously if we change that profile, you'll see it in the top right hand corner. It will let you know. Now we can go back and we can delete this one. We can't edit it for some reason, but we can delete this one and make some adjustments accordingly. But I know I'm going to have some unhealthy chips as well in this secondary profile or custom profile that I set up. And you can see some of the defaults here really kind of represent an S19J Pro, Pro Plus, XP, stuff like that. We're dealing with the X or the K Pro. So we can use some of these settings, but in some of these settings you're going to be overvolting for the clocks, right? You can see the chips clocks, for example, on this one, we got 620 megahertz on the chips, 3.7 volts, and on the dashboard, you can kind of see, I'm sorry guys, I'm a little bit under the weather still, but you can kind of see what's going on now. A little teaser here, there's a section on this particular LuxOS that says tuner status. That is not launched yet, but bear with the LuxOS team as they continue to provide us updates and fine-tunability. That should be coming in the future. Additionally, if you look at the main dashboard, we can see things in progress, right? So the current clock frequency is going up with the green, and then the terahash is also going up. And if something's going down, it will be represented with a red downwards arrow, like the voltage or whatever it might be. So you just want to monitor and keep an eye on the health of your devices, right? Make sure that everything is healthy. It's going to go through, it's going to try to reach the target that you set. But to fine tune this bad boy, you can test out the stock profiles, the default profiles. And then once you see where it's happy, voltages, thermals, clocks, as far as the chip, megahertz, then you could probably go in and set some custom profiles as you like. Again, you just can't delete. Like if I try to delete low boy, it's going to give us an error. Failed to remove profile as the profile's in use. Same thing if we try to change profiles and then we have the ATM turned on. If you turn this on, it's going to stop you from doing that. But in here, again, we can set the the low end. If we try to use the default, we can set the low end. Let's say 445, and then at the high end, maybe we'll leave it on default, which again is a little bit high for my liking, especially when we're pushing that high voltage. Now you're looking for better cooling, maybe liquid cooling, water cooling, or immersion. So just be careful, and they do warn you. On the main presets that overclocking may damage your device, so proceed at your own risk. And that's with everything, with GPUs, CPUs, ASICs, FPGAs, does not matter. please tune at your own risk. Maybe go see what some other people are running and see if you can replicate that and step it up bit by bit. Now, when we set up one of these profiles, let's create one right now. You got to give it a name, right? So let's just give it a name just for this video. Let's say test. And now the voltages. Now stock, you can see here, it's using the default profile. So 13.9 volts at 670 megahertz. A little bit high for my taste. So let's say we want to do around 600. And you can see if as I move the slider, it only steps up or down in increments of 50. If you want to change that, right, go to your set target and then click in there and use the delete key or the backspace key to set what you want. So we're going to set 620 megahertz, which I saw this device do on a different control board, and then we can set the voltage where we want it. Let's say I really want 3.2 volts or something like that, and it might not be stable, but we can still save this profile. And if we wanted to apply it, we will click the drop down under the preset profiles page, look for that profile, and then select it. And there it is right there. So if I select this, it will apply, and then it will continue to try to run that. And as you can see from the color scale here, green is good, right? Let's say this neon green is the best. This lighter green is okay. This yellow is good. And then when you start getting into the orange, it's okay, ... red. All right, we're doing something's wrong. Voltage isn't good enough. Maybe the chip just doesn't like that clock setting, or a combination of the two. So you just need to see where everything is at. Be aware of the thermal environment you're in, the environmental conditions you're in, what's your ventilation, your situation overall, and adjust accordingly. Obviously, large farms have a different setup than the at-home or small-scale farm operations, but it's all about tuning accordingly based upon those parameters plus silicon lottery. Not every miner is going to perform exactly the same as the previous miner that came before it. Some will be silicon lottery winners and some won't, and then you just have to adjust accordingly. But here we can set the target board temperature. Default is 60, max is 75, min is 0. Hot board temperature is again between 0 and 75, default 65. I turned mine up to 70. Dangerous board temperature, max is 75. Now stock with the AM logic control board is 85. So this is just a good threshold that LuxOS tries to keep in. You cannot go past that. If you try to go above that and you hit save, it's going to give you an error. Boom, maximum value. So just be aware of that. And then the ATM or advanced thermal management, honestly, I will leave everything the way it is, and then just choose, your low profile or your minimum setting. Let's say 495, and then the high setting for this particular model of ASIC, I probably wouldn't go above 620 or maybe 645. I don't like the 670 or above unless I'm dunking this baby, which we may do in the future. So stay tuned to the channel and for updates from us. But that is how you fine tune your Bitcoin ASIC miner with LuxOS. More features to come from the team. Keep an eye on their socials, their Twitter. Team is really great, and a huge shout out to Matt, who took time out of their day to help isolate a very simple problem that prevented us from using this OS off rip, and was addressed. And you can see here we got 20 healthy chips per hash board. As it continues to go through its process, 77 chips on each board, it will mark it either healthy or not healthy, and then you can go from there. We could also see the thermals, and then we have a nice little graph up here that if we scroll across, we got 4 thermal sensors, and we can see, the hash rate and all that good stuff, as well as the power, the joules per terahash, overall power draw. So that's 2460 watts, so 2,460 watts right now, doing 108 terahash. Not exactly as efficient as the K Pro 120 can run, but we're getting there. And once I get my numbers and everything, and I see where everything is healthy and happy, voltage and clocks wise, I can go ahead and set my custom profile. So start off with the default ones first, and work your way and create you some custom ones as you move forward. If it doesn't work, change the profile and delete the old one that didn't work, and then change your settings accordingly. So if this 13.2 didn't work at 620, then maybe I do 13.2 at 600 or 13.2 at 630, whatever it might be. So good luck to you. Thank you so much for watching. You can see top right, it was deleted. Also in the top right, you got a menu section to where you can reboot the device, restart the Lux miner, put it in active or sleep, or turn on the LED or blink if you're looking for this particular miner out of hundreds or if not thousands. But LuxOS definitely makes it easy to manage your ASICs, your pools, get your logs, your datas, and make adjustments accordingly, set a static IP, whatever it might be. Good job to the team. I look forward to seeing what updates they come, especially with the tuner option in the future. Do me a favor though, on the way out, hit the like button, make sure to get subscribed, hit the notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.